YouTube API video, related modes for your viewing pleasure. What is he doing? Keep watching and you'll find out.
Hello. This video is going to be a bit different to the normal ones. We're looking at YouTube, APIs, and using Python. So if you're interested in any of those three, well, keep watching. Right. We're going to work backwards. So I've got some code that I've written probably the bottom half of, so I've written all this. The top bit I found from an online tutorial, and then I've also referenced the YouTube API reference pages, which I can't find a link for at the moment, but where we go. I'll show you those in due course. Anyway, maybe I won't. I'm just winging it. What does this do? So it gets channel videos. Well, does it? No. What it does is it gets thumbnails for the channel videos. So a channel such as Dr. Pi, which is a fantastic Python sort of channel with some gags and some occasional Raspberry Pi stuff thrown in. It gets the channel videos ID, then it creates a list. It returns all of that into the list, which keeps appending, and then the content of that list then gets passed for snippets. Snippets is a YouTube variable, and then using the API it retrieves snippets with thumbnails, with descriptions, URLs. Let me try and find, here we go, I'll just drag this across. YouTube Data API, you want version 3. Here, you see where I'm moving the cursor? All of these properties you can query using the API, the Google API, which you need to register for. I'll talk about that in a second, but briefly, we're using the Google API, we're retrieving information about our videos, and my code here collects thumbnail names, which are URLs, and then it saves the content of that URL, write r.content, because we're using requests, and if you write, you can use the content from requests, which is a nice way to save files. We're saving them as JPEGs, and we're saving them into, if we go back up to the top, we're saving them into YouTube _thumbnails. So let's go. I'm just going to move this across. There we go. And I just want you to see, just see this as well. And I'm actually going to run it from the command line because it's nice. Keep watching. Ready? Just move that across as well. Keep one eye on the folder. Do you like the progress bar? I'll talk through the file name structure in a minute, but done. Now check your local directory. Wow. I can see a new directory has appeared next to YT Thumbget. YT Thumbget is YouTube Thumbget, which is the virtual environment which was created. You can see it's a virtual environment because that's to the left of the host name. Yeah, you don't need to know. you don't want to know about that. Right, YouTube thumbnails.
Wow, that's fucking amazing! Wow!
I've made 105 videos. And most of them have had about 10 people watching them, but no more. When this fantastic video hits the cinema, it's going to be on every multi-screen cinema in the nation. It might even go global. There's going to be so much demand for people wanting to see me download YouTube thumbnails. Or not. But on a serious note, I've retrieved the high res. So again, with the YouTube API, it offers you the choice of resolution, max res height width, blah blah blah, medium, default. So you've got a default resolution, which is 120 by 90, and you've got a medium, which is 320 by 180. I've downloaded the high res one, so that's 480 by 360. If you were starting up a website and you wanted to, a bit like magazines do with back issues, it's quite nice just to have a visual gallery of thumbnails that show what you've ever done. In a minute I'm going to talk about the file names, but yeah, let's just, I'm not sure what order these in. Has it got newest? No. Not that it really matters, but there's a recent one. That was yesterday's one, and so basically it's jumbled them up with random file names. Not a problem. At least we've got them all. So 105 thumbnails, which is every single thumbnail from every single video which I've uploaded to YouTube. So let's just get rid of that now and go back to the code. So when it ran, you can kind of see what happened. That was me printing to the screen, just a progress bar. Yeah, this is better. If I scroll back up, you can see how the asterisks incremented by 1 each time. How did that happen? Well, I enumerated, so just scroll down. Name. There we go. For IDX, comma image in enumerate videos. So the first key, first variable, first key in enumerate. I'm not sure if it is a key. It's not a dictionary, is it, as such? Anyway. What am I about? Yeah, so I print all those asterisks and then IDX. So IDX is the sequence number. This bit you're probably familiar with. It's very similar to what I did in my web scraping images tutorial a few weeks ago, a couple of weeks ago, 2 weeks ago. I've already talked about writing the path and the save name and the file extension, writebytes.write to requests response.content. Yeah, the sort of file name, if you look, this is what YouTube calls each of the thumbnails. So obviously all that's the same up until here. So the best way to handle that is to slice it. So we slice using forward slashes, and then we go -2, so that's -1. And -1 on that slice is always HQ default because it calls the file HQ default because it can, because it's in a unique folder directory. So yeah, that's what we use each time. We use the -2 slice, so all those slices, and -1 would be the end slice, so then we get -2. So working from the right, we take this as our unique file name. Don't have to. You could modify this to collect rather than snippet, thumbnails, height, URL. We could get snippet, description, and then we could pass the description to give it a meaningful file name. Might be quite long though, depending, and you could end up with all sorts of characters in it. So for instance, my decorators video I think had an @ symbol in it. So yeah, that's the bottom part of the program, which basically saves the images. I'll post this code on GitHub, but that's important. Refer to https://developers.google.com/YouTube version 3 docs videos. And I've left the other note at the top, which is about the includes as PHP, the import of API client discovery. API.client discovery. I don't know if pip install works if you just do that. Well, no, it doesn't. You need to use that. What am I talking about? It's late. It's 1 minute to midnight. It's not even 2 minutes to midnight. When it gets to 1 minute to midnight, that is quite ominous, isn't it? I think that represents well, I think it represents the edge of Armageddon, so let's not dwell on that. In fact, oh, boom, there we go, Armageddon. What else can I tell you about this? The API key, I've hidden that. Obviously, API key is an import, so in that file, the apikey.py, there's just one line and it says API_key equals, and then comma, and then the long about 20 character sequence of jumbled up letters and numbers, which is the API key which you get when you register with YouTube or YouTube/Google. Yeah, so let's just go back and look at the actual code for getting the channel information. YouTube.channels.list, channel ID, content details, .execute. I'm not going to bullshit. I found this part of the code online. Whoever did it obviously spent a bit of time reading the YouTube API documentation. I didn't want to reinvent the wheel, so yeah. This is the bit that handles the API request in a nutshell. Feel free to copy, modify, improve. Anyway, it's well, as you can see, it's midnight and I'm still making videos. I don't know quite why. Probably because I'm going slightly mad because I've been shut in my house for what seems like forever. How could you use this? Well, you could use it to save the thumbnails, as I've already demonstrated, or if you, this comment here, take that out, and then you will get the video snippet description. In fact, just for your viewing pleasure, I'm going to take that out. Save. Oh no, why is it doing that?
Wow, that's fucking amazing. Wow.
Bear with me. Right. Let's just do it here because I can sudo and see. This is why it's so much better doing it with Terminal editor. Right, save. I might as well tell you what this is going to do because it might flash by really quick and then I've wasted your time. It's going to print the description as it's set in between saving the images. So, no, it's not. It's going to print the list of the titles first. The thing is, it's going to print those really quickly and you're not going to see them. Let's put a timer in there. Time.sleep. There's 100 and let's do what would be 0.1 10 seconds. Let's do 0.15. You should be able to see those still. Right. So do I need to? Did I delete the thumbnails folder? I'm still not sure if I get an error when that right, it's gone anyway. Right, good riddance. Let's run it. Excuse the gross incompetence. Run again. A little bit too fast, but I don't know if you can see that. 25 frames per second. It's displaying the description of each video. Waiting 0.15 of a second, and now it's got to the bit that you saw before where it's actually saving the thumbnails. So,
wow, that's fucking amazing! Wow!
Yeah, the second bit, the thumbnail bit you've seen before. But if I just let's just scroll up. Let's just here we go. So. Python, Trinket, virtual environment, Raspberry Pi. So that's the description. That's not the description, that's like the standard text. That's not a very good example. But here we go. Python, API, eBay, SDK. Here I show 2 more ways to code in Python, one using Trinket, blah blah blah. You get the idea. I've using the API, I've retrieved sorry, the scrolling's a bit quick on here, isn't it? I'll sort that for next time. Print video snippet description. So that bit there is what just caused all this information to show up on your screen. So hopefully I've given you some inspiration. You can use this code modifier, you can get the thumbnails, you can get the descriptions. So this is like obviously getting information. You can also put information. So if you were doing I don't know, a mass upload of videos, you could probably queue all those up and then automate that. Although if you're automating that many videos, I'd be interested to know why and how. What would you have been filming? I waffle now, so you get the idea. Let's just recap. So we've used a Google API to get thumbnail images, and then they all end up in one big folder with random names. That's at the moment. That can easily be fixed to give them the actual names of the descriptions of the videos if you so wish. You may not actually, if you just want to display these thumbnails on, I don't know, for instance, your own WordPress website, then you're just going to upload these and probably give them new names anyway. So yeah, and as I say, I've downloaded the high-res ones. If you wanted the smaller ones, you can look that up on the YouTube documentation. So I'll leave some notes in the description, and hopefully this has been a helpful video, and yeah, giving you some inspiration, and blah 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 blah. See you soon. I'm going to bed soon. Bye.